presented by Bathfitter. School Hoops, presented by Bathfitter. This is North American Warhorse High School Hoops, presented by Bathfitter.
Welcome inside Comet Country. We're in Park Summit, Lackawanna County. Tonight, first place in Division I of the Lackawanna League is up for grabs as Scranton Prep battles Abington Heights. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Hyde, and welcome to our final regular season game of high school hoops here on MyTV WQMY. What a game we have for you. Doug Walsh, Mr. Basketball himself, will join me courtside. And Doug, you couldn't ask for anything better. Division title, even though there's 2 regular season games left, it still could come down to tonight's game.
Prep good, clinch a tie with the win. Abington Heights with the win could throw things in for a loop with 2 games left and maybe a tie with 2 to go.
Okay, let's talk about the Cavaliers. They've won 9 straight league games, 6 overall. They started slow this year, but they're really coming on strong right now. And maybe because of the reason why is our North American Warhorse Spotlight player, Bryson Martin.
Yeah, Bryson Martin, he's got 45 threes on the year. Between him and his brother, they got almost half the points for Prep all year long. He had 6 threes in the Valley View game the other night, 2 in the last minute and 10 seconds. But I think he's probably more proud of the assist that he hit Maloney for the game winner.
Absolutely. Let's talk about Abington Heights. They welcome back J.C. Shaw. He's now the head coach. And his team started slow this year. They have some new players, but they really come on strong lately. And our other North American Warhorse Spotlight player, Robbie Lucas, may be the reason why.
Well, Robbie Lucas, he's good at everything he does. He's solid in every aspect. He's got a nice touch on his jumper. He's got the most threes. He shoots those at 43%. Most assists, most rebounds. He's a good defender. He may be the most versatile player in the Lackawanna League, if not all of District 2.
Absolutely. So let's go to our Good Feed Store keys to the game. First, for the Cavaliers.
Well, you know the Cavaliers want to play up-tempo. Abington want to slow this game down a little bit. They've got it. Prep has to finish the defensive possessions. That means getting rebounds. And 3 guys on Abington are responsible for 60% of their turnovers. They can't turn it over. And Coach J.C. Shaw wants them to find the shooters in transition defense.
Well, these 2 teams have already met this year. It was Prep winning at home. Can the Comets flip the switch? We'll find out. Opening tip, starting lineups are on the way. It's Scranton Prep and Abington Heights. tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Back for their first for the Cavaliers. Scores 13-6, 10-1 in the league. It'll be Senior Maloney, Brody Martin, Bryson Martin. They are brothers. Packy Doherty and Ambrose Rossi. For the Comets, Abington Heights. It will be a very junior-laden team. Kettle, Goldberg, and Schaefer. Then Johnson and, of course, Robbie Lucas. We are all set to go here. Packed house. They've been lining up since 5:15 for this game for a 7:30 tip. It'll be loud. Both student sections are well represented, and we are all set to go. There are your refs. Amory, McDermott, Bonafide. Three very good refs, three veteran refs, controlled by the Cavaliers of Scranton Prep. That's Packy Doherty outside. Martin gets the corner. Doherty can't get the first one. Brody, to Ambrose Rossi, no good, and knocked out of bounds, and will go over to the Comets.
Abington Heights opens up straight man-to-man, Bob. They may throw some zone at you tonight.
Full court pressure going to be put on by Scranton Prep. Prep won the first meeting by 18 points. Don't expect that here tonight, Doug.
No, they're going to pick up full court. They want to get this game up and down.
Abington Heights in the home white with the blue trim. Scranton Prep in the purple uniforms with the gold trim. Lucas cut off nicely.
Rossi being a little bit physical down low.
Lucas blocked from behind by Rossi, but he gets his garbage, and it'll 2-0 lead for Abington Heights.
As you see Robbie Lucas, he's going to look to drive it. He's a pretty good shooter, but he's going to look to drive it a little bit tonight.
Down low to Rossi, and it's being called for a travel.
Good help defense. From the weak side, Robbie Lucas came over and forced that turnover.
Andrew Kettle with the ball. Went to Scranton Prep his freshman year when his dad was the coach. Transferred. Now he's in the starting lineup as a junior. They're going to work it down to Lucas. Robbie can hit those outside 10-footers, and he can't get that one to go in and out.
Yeah, he's got a nice touch. You see Scranton Prep 2 playing straight man-to-man.
Martin with the right hand lays it up and in, and we're tied.
He can do a lot of things, Martin. He can drive it. He's a pretty good shooter. Good passer.
Bryson Martin heading to play it Ursinus. Johnson's first shot, no good. The 6'4" Schaefer gets it, but he's rejected then by Rossi.
Jordan Schaefer did a good job the first time these two teams met on the offensive glass, and he's got one there. Just couldn't convert.
Maloney with that game-winning shot the other night against Valley View is going to be fouled.
Yeah, they're going to get Jordan Schaefer on a little bump on the drive. Jordan Schaefer a little frustrated. He missed that last one down the other end.
It's a very tall Abington Heights team. 6'1", 6'3", 6'4", 6'5". Andrew Kettle is just 5'11". See if they can use that height to their advantage. So they didn't last time. Rossi, he's lefty. He's blocked by Schaefer. He gets his own rebound.
Well, they're going to need a little help down there because Rossi's a lot stronger than Johnson down low. So they're going to have to go help him.
Ambrose, of course, the starting left tackle for the Scranton Prep football team.
He likes to look. Lefties like to work from the right side of the floor. You saw it there. They like to come to the middle with their strong hand.
Looks like Doherty will be on Lucas. Martin on Kettle. Outside shot, Goldberg. Count it.
Finn Goldberg picks his spots. He shoots a real good percentage. And they go a little zone now.
It's 13-3
matchup.
on the year. 1 point advantage for the home team.
The only problem going to the matchup zone for Abington is these guys, Martin and Doherty, they got range. You're going to have to get out on them.
And in and out. Rossi grabbed that. Bryson Martin with the circus shot, can't get it to go.
Boy, he's creative. He hung in the air a long time and put it up on the other side.
Kettle coast to coast, and it's rejected.
Abington will pick their spots to run. You can run off your defense. You can run off your rebounding.
Carter Plants in the game, another 6'5" junior. He replaced Billy Johnson.
Well, the strength of Rossi keyed that substitution. Much bigger as Plants, stronger.
Lucas with Rossi on him, takes him outside. He likes to force the issue. Nice dip and do for Lucas.
Well, you got to respect the fact that he can shoot it. Rossi has to come out and play him out high, and then Lucas takes him off the dribble.
Not sure that's the matchup Larry Reagan wants, though, with Lucas. But they got the mismatch, and they took advantage. Martin, baseline, he's a lefty, up and under he goes.
Well, back to that Lucas-Rossi matchup. Rossi can pull, or Lucas can pull Rossi away from the basket.
Andrew Kettle has been shooting well from the outside, so they get out on him. They'll give it off to Goldberg in the corner, no good. Lucas the rebound. Lucas and now again with Rossi. Crossover, no good. It's stolen away. Martin runs down, pop three. No good. Schaefer grabs it. And we should have our first timeout. 3:31 remaining. Comets out in front by one.
The Jeff Ryan State Farm marquee matchup features two sharpshooters. Prep's Packy Doherty can get hot from deep if he's not crowded on the perimeter. At Abington Heights, Jordan Schaefer is streaky from three. He's tall. He can shoot over smaller defenders from the outside. These two may even guard each other at some point in this game tonight. That's why they are the Jeff Ryan State Farm marquee matchup to watch.
So 7-6 the score. Abington Heights out in front, and we've seen a lot of good shooting, especially from our two spotlight players who lead the way for each team.
You know, senior Robbie Lucas is going to try to do all he can for, and in fact, both of them, you know, Bryce and Martin too. They're going to take the lead in this game.
Little pressure being put on. The one unique thing about this, a lot of these players played at Green Ridge and against some other players, and they play AAU ball together. So you're playing against your friends. What do you want to do? You want to beat your friends, right?
Yeah, these guys know each other pretty well.
Yeah. For
the last, 10 years or so.
Maloney missed that shot. Packy Doherty now picking up Robbie Lucas. That's the matchup the Cavaliers want. They'll give it out to Lucas. He gets the baseline. Loses his dribble, and it goes out of bounds.
To see now, whoever's guarding Lucas will determine what he does. If it's Rossi, he may pull him away from the basket. If it's a smaller guy like a Doherty, he may drive it.
So Prep brings it down to take back the lead. They held it 2-0 early on. We're in the first quarter. Maloney down the lane, and they take the lead.
Yep, a little too easy. Coach Shaw wondering how he got in there so easily.
Doherty and Martin are the key players and kind of role players for the rest of the team for Prep. They all can have their big nights.
And you know, in games like this, Bob, those are the guys that prove to be the outcome.
Working around, Robbie can hit those outside. That one's back of the rim. And Bryson Martin pulls it down. He'll push the pace as Prep likes to run. I don't even know how he got that one off. Rossi
he's
inside.
Creative.
No good.
Bryson Martin is creative. We're seeing the half court, Bob. Abington wants to play a little slower. They'll take 15, 20 seconds off each possession.
Jordan Schaefer, his first three-pointer, no good. He averages 18 points per game, as you heard. Packy Doherty, he's lefty, turns to his left side and gets the roll.
The Prep is loaded with left-handers, and Coach Shaw was working on their closeouts yesterday at practice. Little unusual. You got to go to that many lefties.
Goldberg in the lane, can't get the home roll, but a good board underneath from Plants. He's has it taken away by Rossi. 6-0 run for Scranton Prep. They have a 3-point lead, under a minute to play in the first quarter of this Division I showdown, where Prep could wrap up possibly a division title. Doherty knocked away by taller Schaefer, and it goes off a leg, and it will go over to Abington Heights.
Yep, that was a good call. It went off his leg. Jason McDermott right on the call.
Connor Abel, a 5'11 senior, comes into the game for Plants.
Yeah, they're going to expend a lot of energy tonight, so you're going to have to go 7 or 8 deep, both teams.
There's the score from the January 11th meeting between both teams. Lucas out in front. J.C. Shaw not happy with something. Threw his papers down to the ground. Wasn't happy with the offensive set.
Well, they had Jordan Schaefer on a post-up with Brody Martin. They thought they should get to him.
Johnson's shot was no good. So Prep can play for the last shot if they want of this first with the 3-point advantage. They were down 5-4, but since then, the Cavaliers have all the scoring. An easy layup for Bryson Martin. So Martin leading the way. The Cavaliers out in front by 5.
You're watching North American Warhorse High School Hoops, presented by Bathfitter on MyTV WQMY.
Let's introduce you now to our figure law scholar athletes tonight. Lewis Paris is a Scranton Prep quarterback. He is a senior, 3.7 average. He's headed to Franklin and Marshall to play college. He's a first-team All-State. He's in the National Honor Society. Lily Rossi is a 100-plus student. She's a 4-year member and 2-year captain of the varsity soccer team. She's on the honor roll. She's on the National Honor Society, and a 3-year founder and director of the Abington Heights Comics Care Toy Drive. Congratulations to both of our figure law firm scholar athletes. So Doug Walsh, back and forth in that first quarter. What have you seen?
Well, I've seen Abington not being able to contain Bryson Martin. If he stays hot, that's going to be a long night for Abington. We'll see a long-range bomb by Schaefer.
So Brody Martin picks up the foul, and it'll be 3 shots at the line for junior Jordan Schaefer. He's 79% out of the year. He had 30 points against Delaware Valley against that game. But against Prep, he only had 7 down at Loyola.
Well, he's got to get to the offensive glass. He did a pretty good job of that the first time these two teams met. He got a few buckets out of that. He's got a good size advantage on most of these guys on Prep, so he's got to pound the glass.
He did not score in the first quarter and still scoreless on the board. Of course, his dad and mom, very good players, and they're outright, right? They're in the day, as they say.
You got that right.
Nicole Schimmelfennig and Matt Schaefer.
He was born with a basketball in his hand.
At that he was. And the fact that he's 6'4" gives him, at the next level, an advantage, right?
He can shoot it well. You know, when you have that kind of touch and you're that tall, you can have a future in this game. You know, the matchup zone again that's Coach Bianchi's influence. He's here tonight. Coach J.C. Shaw learned the matchup from him.
Rossi just powering his way on the inside. They'll let him bang a little bit, but not that much. Johnson got his hand in there, so he'll pick up the foul.
Yeah, you see what they're going to do. They're going to pound it into Rossi, because if he can establish a post game, that can open up the perimeter if he kicks it back out.
Oh, what a pass from Martin inside, and Maloney just didn't see it.
Yeah, he wasn't ready for it. When Martin has the ball in his hand, Bryson, you better be ready.
So Martin now going to pick up Andrew Kettle. Both teams go about 8 deep. That's about it. Maybe a couple later in the second quarter to give them a break. Abel stays into the game. Robbie posting up Packy, Doherty, and it's Ambrose coming on for another rejection.
Well, you know, Bob, most block shots will come from help defense, and you know they're going to try to post up Doherty with Lucas's size. So great job by Rossi to come over there and block that out of bounds.
There's the former Gatorade Player of the Year, led his team to the state title here in 2018. Packy, he'll shoot from way out there and count it.
That's what
you leave Doherty open, that's what he's going to do.
That's what Coach J.C. Shaw was worried about. One of the keys to the game, find the shooters in transition. And you know that as soon as that ball gets turned over, Prep's going to push it up.
Martin and Doherty combined for 83 pointers on the year so already. Add one more.
Brody Martin with a pick.
Brody he played really well in that first meeting against the two teams.
That's good basketball right there. He comes up with the steal, and then they reward him with a wide-open three. Now, he didn't make it, but that's good basketball. Rewarding your man for playing good defense.
Consistency, I think, has been the key, as Abel can't get it to go for Abington Heights. They've been up and down. They look great against Valley View. They look good against Pocono Mountain West in the loss. As Packy is on fire. He's 2 in a row. But the Comets, though, you don't know which team sometimes, don't you?
And Coach Phil DeSorno told us the other day that they started to click when they went to the matchup zone. Timeout by Abington.
Comets called timeout. They want a 30, down 9, biggest lead of the game for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, that's what Coach Showers wants to talk about now. That's 2 long threes they got in transition. So
you see Scranton, they lose big, and they come back, they lose to Prep, but then Valley View, they blow out. Walpaugpack, the big win. Then Scranton, they only give up 27 against them.
Yeah, that's when they started in that right before that Walpaugpack game there. They went to the matchup, they used it a little bit more. Now, they did use it, but they kind of went to it a little bit more, and it's proved to be effective.
Comets coming off a win over North Pocono here, 73-61. And you saw that loss to a very good Pocono Mountain West team out of District 11. In fact, Scranton Prep played them as well, and they lost earlier in the season. Both teams have beaten executive education, though, from down in the Bethlehem area.
Well, that district down there puts some good basketball. It's good to go down there and play those teams because it's real good competition, and it preps you for the season and it preps you for the playoffs.
Comets actually went out west in their Christmas break and played some great competition, lost those games. Plants get from behind, it's Maloney. Here come the Cavaliers. That's like 3 blocks today by this Cavalier team. Doherty has the lane, has the baseline, and has another one. He's scored 8 in a row for Prep.
Well, Abel has to run at it. You got to respect him because he's got range and he shoots that 3. And Doherty quick enough to go right by him.
Take it away. Here comes Maloney.
And you talk about the turnovers too. Everything Coach Chow said they got to work on their keys, and they're not doing it. Hence the 11-point lead.
Brody hassled, and Martin going to get fouled by Abel. His first. So it's an 11-point lead. And in the last 5 minutes, Abington Heights only has 2 points.
Yeah, they haven't even gotten a shot off. They got 1 long bomb and then 3 turnovers. So
Chris Begley into the game for Abington Heights, number 11. Tacky Doherty, way downtown, connects his 3rd 3 of the quarter.
Those 2 guys play well together. They set each other up. Bryson Martin sets most of his teammates up very, very well.
13-2 run for the Cavaliers. They've increased their lead now 23-9. Abington Heights has been scoreless in this quarter. Excuse me, they have 2 points in the quarter. That's it.
Yeah, they're getting Brody Martin. Brody Martin on a hole. That's his 2nd, so he's going to have to take a seat. They'll bring in McGrath and Scoff.
So Max McGrath, a sophomore into the game, number 1. Jake Scoff, a senior, number 5, into the game. Jordan, pop 3, no good. He does not have a field goal tonight. The 2nd leading scorer, I should say the leading scorer on Abington Heights. Crossover from Doherty, up and under, and he's got it.
He saw that he had plants on him, and he was just waiting for the right opportunity to take him off the dribble.
13 in this quarter for Packy Doherty.
Yeah, he can score in a hurry.
Comets have not found the basket in a while, and it's another turnover. McGrath pulls it down in the corner. Jake Scoff down the lane with the left hand, gets it to go. Oh, and Jordan Schaefer comes down hard on his ankle. Oh boy, he is in pain. So we'll take the media timeout as they look at Jordan Schaefer. It's been all prep in this one in this quarter. They lead the Comets 27-9. Here's what Scranton Prep has done. As I said, just 1 loss out of league, but 9 straight in the Lackawanna League since they lost to Scranton in the beginning of the new year.
Yeah, that kind of woke them up a little bit, and they've been on a roll ever since. You went out, played Muhlenberg, but you want to go out and maybe play some tougher competition and take a loss here. You can live with that. Doesn't hurt you in the standings, doesn't hurt you in
And Prep will be, if they win tonight, they will be favored in next week. They have West and Wallenpaupack, two winnable games. But if they win tonight, it'll be an advantage already. They're already up a couple games.
Yeah, it guarantees them a tie, and all they'd have to do is win one of the next two, which you'd like that cushion because Wallenpaupack's always a tough place to play.
Okay, what is Coach Schau now saying? Jordan Schaefer's on. He came off limping. They had to carry him off. It looked like a real bad ankle sprain. We don't know. Don't want to speculate. So they lose one of their top scorers. What is he telling his team?
Well, he's just telling me, take it easy, calm down. We're going to, one at a time. And I think Robbie Lucas, he tried to take the game over early. They're going to need some more scoring from other guys. And, with, maybe so now here, a little pressure for Prep, a little three-quarter court pressure. You're going to have to stop turning the ball over, that's for sure, if you're Abington.
Lucas down the lane, nice dish to Plants. It's blocked again by Rossi. That's the third time in the game he's got in the hand on a ball.
Well, he's doing a great job at the defensive end. Now they're thinking about him. Now they want to know where he is all the time. He's intimidating them.
Bryson Martin downtown, no good. Big rebound by Goldberg. J.C. Schau in Chris Bonavade's ear on the way down the other side of the court.
The first time they played, Prep shot a lot more foul shots than Abington did. So Coach Schau lobbying to get his team on the line.
Packy Doherty almost got it to go. Here comes Robbie Lucas. He will push the pace, and he will try to get hit through anybody, and he'll be fouled by Bryson Martin to slow him down.
Well, that's about it. Slow him down. Bryson Martin, great anticipation. Very easily could have been a charge. Martin did a nice job moving his feet, anticipating where Lucas was going to go. But the foul was on Martin.
Third team foul on Prep. Abington has 2. Out for Begley. He's got the baseline, but he's cut off. Pump fake by Robbie Lucas, in and out, and Abington High's drought in this quarter continues, just 2 points.
Well, that's the second one that was halfway down and came out. It looks like Martin just lost it himself trying to be aggressive, but you love that if you're Prep, you want to keep your foot on the gas.
I mean, Doug, it was 10-7 after the first quarter. Yeah. It's 27-9.
Yeah, well, that's what Prep can do. I mean, they're capable of putting up some big runs, and they score a bunch, and they score a bunch in a hurry, and they make a lot of threes.
Packy Doherty is exploded in this quarter. He really came on Packy last year in the playoffs. Robbie Lucas now against Doherty. Andrew Kettle, no good.
Well, if you're Abington, you got to take that shot.
Martin Owl will slow it down. Max McGrath still in the game with Jake Scoff. Larry Reagan going with some of the bench players. Great give and go to Martin, no foul. I think Begley got a hand on the ball, and now we're going to go the other way.
Yeah, they're going to get McGrath with a reach on the rebound, but boy, really nice pocket pass by Rossi. Martin just couldn't finish.
Chris Ramey, a senior now into the game for Prep, as Larry Reagan goes a little bit deeper, and he can because he's up almost by 18 points.
And you're right, that's exactly what he's doing now. He's going a little deeper, give some guys some experience because, with 27-9 lead, you can afford to give a guy maybe a little extra rest that he normally wouldn't get. If you're Abington, you got to be patient, run your offense, maybe try to get this down. And Rossi again with the block.
That's his 4th of the game.
Prep really doing a great job on the defensive end. I mean, you hold this team to single digits this late in the half, you're doing a real good job.
Bryson Martin from NBA range.
And that was pretty solid defense by Abington, just better offense by Prep. Everything going Prep's way.
Martin's 46-3 on the year. Robbie Lucas, let's see if he can get going. He cannot. Chris Ramey gets it to go. So everybody's scoring for Prep.
Boy, a great outlet pass by Rossi. A nice strong look ahead Chris Romy.
22 to 2 run in this quarter alone for the Cavaliers as the drought continues for the Comets.
Abington can't throw the ball in the ocean. They're struggling. Now Prep, normally they wouldn't play for one, but with this lead, you almost have to.
Very similar to the Valley View Wallenpaupack game.
Yeah.
Valley View exploded in the second quarter, and Wallenpaupack never recovered.
Yeah, pretty much the same game now. We'll see something late. Martin will try to create.
Max McGrath feed to Ambrose Rossi, who lays it up and in. At the buzzer, can't get it to go. And the Cavaliers are rolling. They lead the Comets after a huge second quarter, 34-9.
Welcome to the Jeff Ryan State Farm Halftime.
Well, welcome back into Abington Heights High School. It's been all Scranton Prep here in Comet Country. They lead Abington Heights 34-9. Bob Ide and Doug Walsh. And Doug, who saw this coming? I mean, it was an 18-point win down to Scranton Prep. What a quarter now for Scranton Prep. But before we talk on this game, why don't we look at some of the district standings, because the playoffs will start next week in some leagues, and they have some league tournaments, and then after that, it will be the District 2 tournament as well as from around the area. So why don't we take a look at some District 2 standings. First in 4A, if Prep is playing like this, they'll be the favorites.
Yeah, look out. They haven't done, they've turned the ball over maybe 2 times, and that's probably the only mistakes they've made all night long here. And if they're clicking on all cylinders now. Dallas playing well. We saw them last week against, they shot lights out too against Pittston. But if that ever comes up, and look at that Wyoming area team, Bob. Anthony Macario, what a great job he's done with those guys. Barakevich, Kopechny, DeLuca, Keating, congratulations to them. They won their first title in over 50 years.
Wow.
Yeah, back when I was playing. I hate to date myself, but Coach Macario, congratulations to those guys down there in Wyoming area. They are a team to be reckoned with as well.
Well, if it remains that way in the semifinals, you'll have Dallas and Valley View and Prep against Wyoming area. So, I mean, that'd be quite a matchup.
And Berwick is playing tonight. Berwick plays Holy Redeemer tonight in that playoff scenario down there that Wilkes-Barre has. Should Berwick beat Holy Redeemer, that would be they would get into that playoff spot. If Redeemer beats Berwick, they would get into that playoff spot. If Berwick wins, they would be with Wyoming area and Berwick, and then Dallas, and outside chance for Pittston area to get in there, but it's probably going to be Wilkes-Barre area in that playoff down there.
Absolutely. So let's go 5A. Boy, I would have thought Abington Heights might be the favorite. Pittston, we saw them the other day lose. We saw Walpole pack lose. Crestwood has been up and down as well. Wide open.
Yeah, it is wide open, because any one of those teams, they get hot for 2 or 3 games, you can pull it out. And 2 of those teams will go. So Pittston still has a shot at the number 1 seed, and with this going on tonight, they could get the number 1 seed. So, but a few other things have to happen. But Crestwood playing well. Paw Pack's always a tough out, so anything can happen there in that 5A.
And anything can happen in 6A as well. Wilkes-Barre has surged ahead. They're playing very well above Scranton. Delaware Valley's in 6A. I mean, Hazleton is up and down as well, but again, I think it's a 3-team race maybe.
Delaware Valley, Coach Holster's got those guys playing well at the end of the year like he always does. That's not an easy out. Wilkes-Barre is in Scranton. They can score a lot of points. Wilkes-Barre scores a lot of points. So, Hazleton 10 and 11, but a lot of people still think that they are the best team down there in that Division I, even though that they've already been eliminated. But they're tall. They can score. That's another one that said these playoffs are going to be a little interesting in the District 2.
They are. I mean, it's really the run to the arena. That's what it is. I mean, everyone wants to get to the arena and play, and then it determines if you get into the state playoffs. 3A, well, we think it's the top 2 teams are going to probably be at the arena.
Yeah, you would think. Elk Lake playing well. Now, Elk Lake's got a 2-game lead. They almost have that division locked up there. Riverside is hosting Old Forge tonight. They got to be careful there. Dunmore is at Holy Cross tonight. They got to be careful there, but any one of those, you would think Riverside and Holy Cross would be the class of 3A, but, you never know.
2A, Old Forge playing Riverside tonight. I'll have to check for a score, but, a surprise team maybe, but not really. I mean, once you get Holy Cross out of there, Old Forge was always there.
Yeah, they're always good. And Mountain View and Lackawanna Trail, they're playing pretty well. It's tough to gauge because of the competition that they play in up there, but they're making a run at that division. They're surprising some teams. They probably both of them have overachieved, you would say. So you got to be careful.
Okay, we're at halftime here. It's been all Scranton Prep in this one. When we return, we'll break down the first half. Gain some stats here on MyTV WQMY. extended halftime since they've been honoring Coach Bianchi and Coach McLean, the two longtime coaches here, Ken Bianchi and Jeff McLean, and they gave them some trophies, Doug Walsh, before the game. And we're having some tributes on the beautiful video boards here at Abington Heights for both of those players.
And I remember back in the late 70s with Coach Bianchi up at Camp St. Andrew, and then in the early 80s we went head-to-head. I was an assistant at Prep, and he kind of got the better of us a lot when he had less talent, that's for sure. And then I recruited some of his guys, and then we helped some of his guys get up to Binghamton with Coach Dempsey.
And there you see the ceremony which took place before the game. 44 years, I think, for Coach Bianchi. 42 with Coach McLean, with Coach Bianchi. Scranton Tech, right? They taught at.
He coached Jeff McLean and then brought him on as a staff at a young age, and they've been together ever since.
That they have. So why don't we talk about that first half? We got some stats from Tom Robinson, and if you look at them, there's one stunning stat that I really stood out.
3 for 26 from three behind,
overall 3 for 26.
Overall,
right?
3 for 26 is they didn't make a three-point shot in the first half. But you got to credit Rossi on the defensive end. He's got 11 rebounds and he's got 7 blocks already and 2 steals and a couple of assists. So the defense that Prep is playing is outstanding. Doherty 6 for 8 from the field, 3 for 5 from beyond the arc, and Prep shooting 57% from beyond the arc. And as Coach Shaw was worried about, he can't turn it over. They've got 7 turnovers in the first half, and that led to a lot of points for Prep.
Yeah, Prep 15 of 28 overall, 53% from the game. To me, they just look like the faster team.
Yeah,
the speed when they bring it down with Martin and Packy Doherty, and they just move it so fast.
Certainly Bryson Martin is the quickest and the fastest player on the floor by far. You can definitely see that, and that sets up his teammates because he pulls the defense to help, and that sets up, and he's a really good passer. That sets up his teammates. And even Doherty takes some guys off the dribble. He's a little bit quicker. Yeah, they seem to be a step ahead of Abington in every aspect of the game.
Yeah, Abington led 7-6 midway through that first quarter, and ever since then it's been all Prep. So why don't we take a look at some of the highlights from that first half.
Now you see, you have to crowd Martin on the arc, and that one was pretty easy. Coach Shaw wasn't too happy with that. You don't need that's pretty deep, and you like to get those in rhythm. You walk into those, that's good, and you have to go respect them, so Lucas has to go out and respect them on the perimeter, and Doherty's smart enough to drive right by him.
Well, Packy Doherty scored 13 points in that second quarter alone. He leads both teams with 15, including 3 threes. Martin has 9.
And you saw in those last 3 or 4 highlights, he's taken 4 different guys to the basket. He had plans. He had Jordan Schaefer there. He had Robbie Lucas there. He took them all. So nobody could stop him.
Yeah, George Schaefer has gone. He went out of the game. He went to the table with the trainer. He's been taped up on that left ankle. Well, I'm pretty sure he's going to try and give it a go. We'll see. He's scoreless. He has two shots he only has 2 free throws in the game. Andrew Kettle has no points, but Robbie Lucas just has 4. We'll break it down even more. We'll take a timeout. The second half of this Lackawanna League Division I showdown is coming up.
You're watching North American Warhorse High School Hoops, presented by Bathfitter on MyTV WQMY.
We are back inside Abington Heights High School. The Cavaliers lead Abington Heights 34-9. That score is correct. Abington Heights only scored 2 points in the second quarter. It's a 22-0 run for Scranton Prep. What do you do if you're J.C. Shaw?
Well, they're kind of in a quandary because they don't want to play fast. That's Prep style. However, with the score the way it is, you're going to have to score points in a hurry, so you're going to have to pick your spots where you want to run. You're going to have to run, almost exclusively now, and that favors Prep.
Well, Prep will have the ball. They average 65 points per game. They're well on their way to that, giving up just 56 points per game. It's Rossi inside.
Well, see, they gamble. They're going to go trap it. As soon as it comes over the timeline, they're going to try to get the ball out of Martin's hands and Doherty's hands and make somebody else beat you. But a little confusion there. They had too many guys, and they left Rossi wide open underneath.
Kettle gets the baseline. Jordan Schaefer in the corner, blocked off by Brody Martin. Right in front of the student section for Prep. Outside shot. That's a good start for Billy Johnson, his third 3 of the season.
Well, that's their first of the night for Abington. So we'll see. You can't get it all back at once, but you're going to have to get stops down this end.
Packy Doherty inside, but you can't stop Ambrose Rossi.
Yeah, and they're coming with plants already. He's just too strong. He's just too strong for Johnson inside.
So the hoop and the harm. Rossi going to go to the line. Not a very good foul shooter. 50% overall. Foul was on Billy Johnson. He'll take a seat.
Well, there's such a size difference with Rossi. He's bigger up top. He's got bigger legs. And Plants has a little bit more bulk to guard him.
So Rossi completes that, and the lead is still very big for Scranton Prep.
Prep still tough man-to-man. They're not going to change anything. They had so much success with it in the first half.
High arcing shot by Finn Goldberg. Didn't hit the rim, but Rossi was unable to pull it down. And just looking up, if Prep makes a three-pointer, it remains there. It'll be a 30-point lead, right?
Yep.
By Matt?
Yep.
And then we're into the running clock?
Into the running clock, yeah. Yeah. Who would have thought that would happen?
Not
in
at
the game
all.
Today, yeah.
Honestly, thought this would be a close game throughout. Abington has been playing very good as of late. But tonight, a stifling defense and hot shooting for have the Cavaliers out in front. Plants, little 10-footer, no good. Lucas inside. They've done a nice job on him. Blocked away by Maloney. Maloney pushing the pace. Kettle comes from behind. Here come the Comets.
Good job by Kettle. He turned it over at the one end, but he didn't put his head down and came back and got the steal at the other end.
Doherty on Robbie Lucas. Finds Plants inside. It's blocked from behind. Or do we have a foul? We have a foul.
Yeah, they're going to get a foul.
I didn't hear the whistle.
I think they might get Maloney. We'll see. But it looked like now they're going to get Rossi up top.
Rossi's first, so not any foul trouble there. It will send Carter Plants to the line. He's just 5 of 7 on the year from the free throw line.
Larry Regan looking for an explanation. Did he get him on the arm? And he said he did. Rossi playing a whale of a game on the defensive end.
Can't get that one to go.
Yeah, he missed them both. Turns out to be a good foul.
In the league, Abington Heights' defense has been very good as Martin connects him downtown.
If you're Prep, you want to bottle this up and keep it. That's his 1,000th point.
So on that three, his 47th on the year, Bryson Martin has his 1,000th career point. I believe they called timeout as well.
Well, I think when a guy, and credit Abington, for sportsmanship. You talk about things before the game, and even the opponent, if he's going to get 1,000, they'll stop the game for you.
So we'll momentarily stop the game, and now they're at that breaking point. It's 30. Is it 30 in the third or 40 in the third? We talked about this the other day at the Valley View game.
Yeah, it might be. They may start to run it now. We'll have to get. We'll have to check on that. Wait, see, that was pretty deep too.
So again, Martin, 1,000 point. He had 34 this year against Delaware Valley. And in that game against Delaware Valley, he's 18 of 21 on the line.
Yeah.
So you can see he's aggressive.
Yeah.
He goes to the basket. He gets fouled.
Well, you score 1,000 points, you're going to get a lot of them on the line as well. But getting back to the other thing, Bob, it used to be 40 points in the third, you'd run the clock, and 30 points in the fourth, you'd run it. I don't know if that's changed. I haven't been in the referee meetings in about 4 or 5 years, so I don't know if that has changed.
We'll check with Mike Avery in the break.
We're about to find out.
Yeah, we are.
It'll only stop on timeouts.
Goldberg in the lane, cut off. Andrew Kettle, no good. Rossi pulls it down. Martin pushing the pace. Over to his brother. Good pass to Maloney in the corner. Got it.
Well, Martin sees the play happen before Bryson does, before the play even gets going. He knew that Maloney was open, and he had that ball in his hand for a half a second, and he got it to Maloney in good shooting position.
Robbie Lucas does a nice job. His up and under is good.
Well, Doherty is on the line, step on the sideline.
So Chris Begley into the game with Connor Abel.
Yeah, Bob, that clock's running, so it's 30 in the third, which
kickball
kind of makes it even more impossible for Abington to come back.
Yeah, I mean, Prep's had some big wins this year, but this may be the biggest against their rival on the road.
Oh, this is a statement game right here.
You are correct. The statement is a team that's won 7 of the last 8 District 2 4A titles is the favorite going into 4A this year. Doherty down the lane, blocked away, no good.
Well, credit to Abington, they're still coming at you. They're not going to fold up the tent. And Prep, you can't slow down. You got to keep your foot on the gas if you're Prep. They got Chickie-Scoff in the game.
Yeah.
And the ball just seemed to find the shooter's hands.
Robbie Lucas, that's 2 in a row for him. Doherty up to 18. Martin with 12, the 2 leading scorers for the Cavaliers, doing what they are supposed to do.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll run some clock. They'll be more deliberate on the offensive end now.
Rossi using the glass.
Well, when you're having a night, you're having a night. Certainly Ambrose Rossi is having a night.
He's up to 11. Now we're just chanting baskets. Timeout on the floor, 2:50 left in the third. All Cavaliers here at Abington.
You're watching North American Warhorse High School Hoops, presented by Bathfitter on MyTV WQMY.
Cavaliers out in front of their rival Abington Heights. They're on a 40-11 run since the second quarter, and it's 50-18.
Yeah. Kind of want to, if you're Abington, you want to get this game over with as soon as you can.
In fact, Jordan Schaefer's come over to the table. He's going to probably he's done for the night. You got to get him healthy for the playoffs. That's what it's down to now.
You could see that he's walking gingerly at it. It's paining him.
Lucas will grab the ball. Chicky Scoff on him. He saw number 31. Chris Rainey also into the game for the Cavaliers. Scoff pulls the ball down, and he has it blocked away. Packy Doherty bringing it up. So it's 9 straight in the league. Could be 10 after this game for Scranton Prep.
Oh, they can breathe a little easier now with this outcome.
And it is a running clock because of the advantage.
Well, a couple of things it does. It keeps them in the number 1 seed in the districts, but it also lets them play a little bit more loose now the last 2 games, versus who they got left. They got West and Valley View. They got
Who? Abington?
No, Prep. Oh, they got to go to Wall and Paulpack. Yeah, we got to go to Wall and Paulpack. Yeah.
And it's Abington that will have Valley View, which they beat pretty big down there, and they are at West. So no tournament for the Lackawanna League, just in the Wyoming Valley Conference and Schuylkill League and the PHAC.
Well, they got Lucas on a post up on Scoff down low. He's going to need some help.
Nice job by Scoff on the come around, right? He came around and grabbed it.
Brody Martin came with a double, and Ross took. Robbie Lucas took his eye off him, and Scoff picked him.
Let's see if J.C. Shaw gets Robbie Lucas out. Again, you don't want anybody hurt. Goldberg in the paint, can't get in the row.
Well, that's the kind of night it's been for Abington. Bouncing around halfway down and came out. That's about the third one of those. But
they shot 11% in the first half. I don't think they're doing much better in the second. And this is a shocking development, to say the least.
Yeah, a little frustration there on Finn Goldberg at the grab. And he's their best defender.
So running clock. Goldberg will take a seat.
Olsen Token in there. Ben Reese, number 24.
Should be one of the last possessions of this third quarter. See if fans start filing out. Some clients today were here at 5:15 for this game.
Yeah, the quarter will end, but Lucas will get to shoot his 2.
So we'll stay right here for the 2 foul shots. Then we'll get you ready for quarter number 4. So Robbie Lucas.
This will probably end Lucas's night here. This is, he's such a competitor. This is a tough pill to swallow for him, but you also, when you're playing like this, you almost want to go to the bench.
Some of the students for both teams filing out as the quarter ends. Boy, all prep here in Comic Country. Well, it's our final regular season game here on MyTV WQMY. We'll get set for the playoffs. We'll talk about that. And, boy, it's a game that I guarantee you no one saw coming. Scranton Prep 52, Abington Heights 19. And that score is right, folks. If you're just joining us, Cavaliers would have a huge run in that second quarter, 22-0. And the baskets have just not fallen for the Comets. Bye-bye, Doug Walls. Glad you could join us. And Doug, surprise would be, I think, an understatement.
Yeah, all cylinders are clicking for Prep tonight. They're making good percentage. They're taking good shots. They're playing great defense. Can't say enough about the job that Ambrose Rossi did. 11 points, 16 rebounds, and 7 block shots. That set the tone. He set the tone early on the defensive end for Prep, and they've never looked back.
So we have some new faces in the game. We'll try to get you to them. The twin Ramey boys are in, number 10 and 12, Chris and Will, right there. Inside, it's Liam Haggerty. Chicky Scoff's been on, and Jake Scoff.
A lot of brothers on this.
And cousins.
Brothers do this. Oh, they're cousins?
Yeah. Scoffs are cousins. Ramies are brothers.
Oh, okay, all right. And the Martins are brothers.
Yes.
It's a family affair.
Yep. Abington Heights, Robbie Lucas is still in the game. You can see him right here. And they'll count that basket. We'll see how long Coach Schau leaves him in.
Good defense. He stole it, and then he finished through contact. I thought that might have ended his night at the end of the third, but give him a couple more minutes.
Gavin Corwin in the game, 34. 24 is Ben Reese. Robbie Lucas, as I said. Ire Oshutoken, number 21. There he has the ball. And Andrew Kettle is back into the game. So the one thing for Abington, as we talked about, young team. Robbie really is the only senior that plays.
Yeah, and I think that's why he's staying in the game. I think they're going to get him out now. There's Theodore's at the table to get him out probably. Abington, they're up and coming. These guys are going to be battling against each other for years. So Kettle's turned the ball game too. So there's two subs at the bench. Coach J.C. Schau wants to get a timeout to get these other guys in there.
So Andrew Kettle's only field goal of the game is on that three. And credit Prep with the defense tonight on some of their players. But the Comets will be back next year. Pretty tough. Tall team, getting the experience.
Yeah, Kettle's a junior, Goldberg's a junior, Schaefer's a junior. Yeah.
But again, they can easily win the district title because, as we talked about at half, that 5A division in District 2 is wide open.
Yeah.
So,
and you got to go back to the drawing board. You put this one behind you, forget about it, don't even look at the film, and just start all over again and get ready for the last two, and then get ready for the playoffs if you're Abington.
Well, I know Valley View wasn't happy about the last performance they at their own place, and let's see if they can come in and surprise the Comets next week.
Well, and they may. I was going to say that because we saw them do a number on Wallenpaupack. They had a 6-point lead with 2.5 to go against Prep at Prep the other night. So Valley View can come in here and take Abington down if they're not careful. Yeah, Coach Kerpus has those guys playing well at the end of the year.
Jace Goff gets the lane with the left hand. He uses the glass.
Well,
Jake Scoff has worked himself into the lineup this year after spending some years on the bench. Done a nice job working in the offseason.
This performance by Scranton Prep is one for the record books, I'll tell you.
Cooper Manning, number 23, replaced Robbie Lucas. Cooper is 6'3". He's a freshman. And it's not the Cooper Manning of the Manning brothers, by the way, if you're wondering. Forward down the lane, blocked by Haggerty.
Haggerty just took it right out of his hand. He's a big kid, too, Liam Haggerty. Prep, too, they're relatively young, too. You're going to lose Rossi, you're going to lose Bryson Martin, but these guys getting a lot of experience. He's underclassmen, so I can see these two battling for years to come, some of these same guys.
They have a 6'8" junior Stephen Moore, who was ineligible this year, a transfer. He will play next year, most likely.
So he'll step in and take Ross's spot. So, you know, you go inside, outside. You still got the shooters back. So, yeah, this team's going to be, they're built for the long haul, Prep is.
And again, Abington, they'll be back as well through the premier programs in this district.
When you look at the JV game, Prep has some size, too, coming up. They had some 3 or 4 big guys on that JV team, too. So they got all the tools.
The two-time defending District 5A champs.
Great D by Jake Scoff on the strip. Prep calls timeout. They want to get some other guys in the game, talk things over. Just to get some subs in. That was what that timeout was all about.
30-second timeout, and we'll take our last media timeout on the next whistle if we get it. And it's going to be tough.
Yeah, we might not get one.
Well, we'll do this real quick. We'll try to. Luke Flanagan, number 3 in the game for Prep. Number 24, Chuck Scoff. That's another one, the Scoff family.
Yeah, You got Matt Watkins in there.
Anthony Kroom, number 4, has the ball. So it's more like the JV game. Why not? Okay, our final break. It's been all out Prep. As I have said, this is our last regular season game here on MyTV. We will have playoff action for you in March. March 7th begins the playoffs. We'll look at the best fit. We always like to, Doug, get a local matchup. So even if it's like the second seed from District 2 and third seed from District 4, or vice versa, we want to try that local matchup either in the first or second round. And we'll try to do that. We'll get to our Facebook page for MyTV at Fox 56, and we'll let you know where we're going to be.
Yeah, it's kind of hard because they split the districts up, and they don't want the same teams in the district that have already played each other, so they play them against District 4 and maybe a District 11.
Yeah. So we'll let you know. Stay tuned. Thank you for joining us. Wish we could have a better game tonight, but if you're a Prep fan, you're happy about this game.
Yeah, you are. Yes, you are. If you're a Prep fan, yeah. Quieted the crowd early too, you know, Bob.
That second quarter,
that took the crowd right out of the game.
Yeah, again, it was 7-6 Abington, and after that, we're all Prep.
Well, you got to credit Prep's defense because they were stellar in all aspects. They were blocking shots, they were stopping the drive, they were challenging threes, and then, you know, all of a sudden a couple threes don't get down, and you're 0 for Abington tonight. Now you're squeezing a little bit too tight, so. All that adds up to a 30-point win for Prep.
Shane Brower, number 10, a 6'3" senior, will go to the line as clock will stop on a free throw.
Yeah, that's the only time it'll stop, or a timeout. That's the only time it'll stop, yep.
kind of surprising. Abington only had two losses since the new year, and one of those was out of conference. Was that like to Pocono Mountain West? So
yeah, they were playing well. You know, obviously they ran into a buzzsaw tonight, but they were feeling good about themselves. They were on a roll. They were playing good defense. They were scoring. They were doing a lot of good things. And you know, as I said before, you just got to forget about this one. Don't even look at the film. Just put it away and start from scratch.
Well, if you like to go to games, and go to the playoff games, because the district playoffs, Doug and I will be there, are going to be fantastic this year. They're all tight races. So no matter where you go, there's going to be probably a good game.
And oftentimes, too, Boz, when you have games like this, the next time you come out, they put a hurting on their opponent.
Yeah.
You know, they're not going to wait. Coach Shaw will never let them.
Well, Valley View is next for Abington. That'll be a game. You need some Abington wants to keep pace, get that top seed.
You know, yeah. And unfortunately for Valley View, Abington's going to come out like, you know, they're going to be mad. So Valley View's going to have to weather that storm. But you know, Coach Kerpus, as I said, they're playing well, so that should be a good ball game also.
Minute 18 and counting in this one.
You know, Valley View too, Tim. They lost in the district final. You know, this will be. They want to try to get back there again. They've lost 2 in a row in the finals, so they're chomping at the bit to get this District 2 playoff started.
Well, Hazleton beat Dallas tonight in boys basketball, 61-54.
Oh, that's.
So that's going to help Prep extend their lead in that district. They may clinch the top seed.
Well, that'll create a playoff now between.
And then beat Crestwood.
Did they? Yeah.
By 1.
The Wilkes-Barre area had Wyoming Valley West. If they win that one, then it's a tie between they and Dallas. So they'll have to have a playoff before the playoff. I don't know. Maybe there's a tiebreaker on that. With the straight schedule, they don't have halves anymore.
Yeah.
There's a tie-breaking system, you know. So Dallas and Wilkes-Barre area would have the same record, but I'd like to play the game.
Riverside beat Old Ford 60-48.
Did they?
Yes.
Okay.
So that will do it. A huge second quarter, a hot shooting night. And the Cavaliers will pick up win number 14 on the year with a huge 56-27 win over the rivals, Abington Heights. Stay tuned. We'll talk to our players of the game after the break.
You're watching North American Warhorse High School Hoops, presented by Bathfitter on MyTV WQMY.
So it's a statement game for Scranton Prep, their big win over rival Abington Heights, 56-27. Bryson Martin, talk to me about that second quarter. 22-0 run, good defense. What happened there?
Yeah, I think the ball just moved really, really well. We were all finding each other, we were moving it, and then most importantly, we were playing defense and we were getting stops. I think that was the biggest thing. 10
straight league win, 7th overall. What is going right for you guys?
Oh, we're just playing really well together. I think, we all enjoy playing together, and I think we're just starting to come together really well.
Oh, we talked about this backcourt combination the other day. Probably the best maybe in the district overall. Again, how do you complement one another?
Yeah, we know where each other want to catch the ball on the floor, and we have a really good feel for each other, so, I love playing with him.
I think he scored 13 straight in that second quarter. That's not unusual, right?
No, we knew we got hot, so we kept finding him.
Okay, let's talk to Packy. Like I said, you're not a streaky shooter, but when you're on, you're on.
Yeah, all thanks to my teammates. They found me. Can't give enough credit to them. They made it happen.
What is going on with this team? Why are you playing so well?
We're just trusting each other really well. We're playing the best we can, really tight with each other, and we're just connecting at the same time, and we're playing our best basketball right now.
We talked to you and Bryson, but Ambrose had 16 rebounds, like 7 block shots. What does he give you on the inside?
I mean, he's the X factor. He's a great compliment to our team, and I can't be more thankful to have him on our team, and everyone loves him on our team. He's a great kid, so he's great to have.
I know the goal is a district championship. What's it going to take?
It's going to take us coming together, playing together, trusting each other, playing defense, and yeah, that's it.
Okay, I've known this kid since he's been yay high. Congratulations, Packy. We'll see you in the playoffs. Doug, we'll bring you in. And Doug, you mentioned, I don't want to say it again, but statement game, yes, absolutely.
Well, if they play defense like this, Bob, Ambrose back there, so you can gamble out on top, and he'll cover your back, and they space them well. They play together. They share it. They're clicking on all cylinders at the right time.
Absolutely. And Hazleton beat Dallas, so if we look tomorrow at the district standings, we could see Prep may have clinched that top spot in District 2 4A.
There's a lot to be decided.
Yeah.
This thing's not over yet.
Okay, Abington Heights has to regroup. Hopefully Jordan Schaefer's all right. What does J.C. Shaw have to tell his team?
Well, you got to forget about this game. Sometimes you have games like this, and look at it. Forget the score, forget what happened. It's only one in the loss column, so you got to go back to the drawing board. Don't even look at this film. Get back to what you're doing well, and try to be more consistent at it.
Well, Prep last year went all the way to the state semifinals. Are they good? That good?
If they shoot the ball this well, they can beat anybody in the defense that they played, and yes, they can. Yes, they can.
Well, that's a big statement there. So, district playoffs right around the corner, folks. Get to a local game because you won't be disappointed. We'll see you in March. Playoffs for us right around the corner. We're going to take a little break, and then we'll see you back sometime in early March. For the entire Fox 56 Sports crew, big thanks to my buddy Doug Walsh. This is Bob Hyde saying so long from Comic Country. A huge win for Prep over Abington Heights.
You're watching North American Warhorse High School Hoops, presented by Bathfitter on MyTV WQMY.